goodness, because Andy is as good as it gets. And now he's got a chance to see how far this South Carolina team can go. They're in white, Arkansas is in red, and we are underway with the Razorbacks controlling the basketball.
Arkansas with a quick turnaround, less than 24 hours from their opening round win to today. How much energy will Arkansas have to start this game?
Battle ran right into a wall. He's able to get rid of it, and Brazile will launch a three. And that's the bottom. Very calmly knocks down his first shot of the day.
Brazile has played his best basketball this year in the last couple of weeks. More than just a three-point shooter. It's silky smooth from out there, but now also doing things off the bounce and as a shot blocker, ripping down rebounds as well.
Meechie Johnson got the green light to do a lot. Inside, that's up, and it's in. And that could be a three-point play, South Carolina.
Ravi, just look at the bodies of South Carolina compared to Arkansas. A much more physical, strong team. And B.J. Mack knows it right off the bat. This is a hard match for Brazile. Mack just goes right through the chest, and a little bit of arm resistance of Brazile for an easy two.
6'8", 260, Charlotte, North Carolina, a Wofford transfer. B.J. Mack averaging 13 points a game, and he's got 3 to knock this one up early. Arkansas went 23 of 26 at the free throw line last night. Their starting 5, they were carried by Battle and Mark. Lawson, Brazile. Battle is to Arkansas what the great scorers are, whether it's Connect or what we just saw in our first game, to this team. Oh, Brazile though, quick start, 2 for 2 from 3. Right, is that fair? He's the Josh Hubbard for Arkansas when he gets going?
Battle is,
yeah,
no doubt. And he came to life in the second half. Yesterday, Tremont Mark and Battle only had 3 points in the first half. They combined for 39 in the second.
Good hands to keep it alive for Meechie Johnson. They will try to slow things down. Very deliberate pace on the offensive end. They go to work with 4 on the shot clock. It does draw iron, but it's off.
South Carolina, they don't over-dribble the ball. They rely on passing the ball, moving players. They really are good at getting you in a defensive closeout, are the Gamecocks.
This is Mark. And right into the body, and that's going to be a foul on South Carolina, Zachary Davis.
Trevin Brazile just parks in that right corner. He's already made one from the left corner. And the thing you love about Brazile at 6'10", he can make guarded three-point shots because of the high release.
Talk about tired legs. Brazile played 42 minutes last night. Remember, the game went overtime. 42 minutes. Mark penetrates. Fading away. Tough shot. No good. Arkansas wants to move it quickly, and that's a 3 from Meechie that missed. Cal Ellis, the point guard.
South Carolina has built their defense on the simplicity of guarding the ball and all 5 guys boxing off when a shot's taken, and they are the best in this league.
Yeah, Brazile fires again. That's a little short. That time good defense by Murray Boyles, who was in his mug.
Arkansas never got that ball reversed to the other side of the floor on that possession.
Meechie didn't shoot it. Mack, well, that's no good. He went hard. Great defense, straight up. Arkansas's 3-on-2. Great defense by Murray Boyles to get back and pick it off. Alley-oop down low with the height advantage, and that's great defense, and the ball kept alive. Tremendous credit to L. Ellis. Caleb Battle gets it back. And he's got a chance for a three-point play.
Ravi, it all started though with a hustle play and the awareness of L. Ellis. Didn't just throw it blindly. He jumped with enough explosiveness to buy some time and find another Razorback to throw it back to. Watch L. Ellis right here. He jumps, surveys the floor, and finds an Arkansas Razorback to throw it to. And as a result, on the other end, Caleb Battle, right place, right time.
He has done a terrific job leading this team in scoring each of the last half-dozen games or so, and he knocks down the free throw.
That's a kid that went for 42 against Missouri. He had 34 at Kentucky. I mean, he can put a a 30-point game on you, as well as anyone in this league right now. Right there with Dalton Knecht, Josh Hubbard, high-scoring guards in the SEC this year.
Brazil on defense, and he affected that shot for sure on Murray Boyles.
Yeah, good job of moving his body, Brazil, and not giving an ultimate scoring angle.
Whoa.
The blow by Battle. Wow, just shredding what has been a very difficult team to score against in South Carolina early.
And he used his left hand before he was too far under the rim. 11-3 to start for Arkansas. The bounce down low, and a chance for three on the other side from Colin Murray Boyles.
That's South Carolina's strength offensively is bully ball. And Lamont Paris going to have to talk to his guys about who have we been all year. We've been phenomenal at staying in front of the ball. Battle just shakes us and finishes on the right side with his left paw. A good start for Woo Pig in Nashville.
All right, the SEC really turned the corner when they made the hire sort of in 2014. Cal was here in 09, and that's the place to be in this conference, Kentucky. But since then, look at the names that have been added and the elevation of the basketball programs around the SEC. Todd Golden reports out there that he's got another extension with Florida. Reports are Lamont Paris looking at a 6-year extension. Reports also say that Jerry Stackhouse is out at Vanderbilt. Chris Beard, the latest, hired in 2023 at Ole Miss, and you just know, given his track record, it's not going to take long to turn things around. That was the step of the process one. Then they get the players, then the facilities, then the officiating. Terrific article in The Athletic about how the SEC decided, you know what? Let's get serious about men's college basketball, and it has paid off in spades here.
There's not a better league in college basketball right now than the SEC. And the Big 12 has had the advantage of the last few years. I love the Big 12, but it's not better than the SEC this year. Several teams built to get to the second weekend, a couple of Final Four possibilities, and look at Tennessee and Kentucky, but for all those reasons, Ravi, this league takes a backseat to no one right now in men's college basketball. Not one.
Right. Substitutions on the floor. We'll get to Marty in a moment. Josh Gray is in. He wears 33. Huge body. Miles Stute also in. Jacoby Wright for South Carolina. They try to change the temperature in the room with these substitutions. Wright pulls up. That's short. Loose ball. Battle.
South Carolina's at their best offensively when the number of passes is more than the number of bounces of the ball in the half court. Has not been their case so far. They are a ball movement, screen you concept team on the offensive end.
Stute, one-on-one baseline, nearly had it ripped away. The left-handed jump, and that's a good one there. And an easy one for Colin Murray Boyles, averaging about 12 a game.
Yeah, he's becoming a monster in that freshman class. He was a 0 ranking as a high school junior. And Lamont Paris, the day he got hired, went and said, I've got to have you stay right here in Columbia. And man, you talk about a guy that thrives with a bully ball game. It is 30 and white.
Yeah, Lawson had that baseline wide open for him.
That long arm reach of Lawson affects the game both offensively and defensively. That 7'7" wingspan, he blocks shots, he challenges shots, but he can really finish now in traffic just over the top of people.
Memphis transfer at 6'8", 210. Good bounce pass, an easy flush. Murray Boyles on the roll.
Now they go to that empty corner, so there's nobody in the corner offensively for a defender to help off of. Easy action for Colin Murray Boyles to roll into.
He's got 7 of their 10. You can tell they're starting to get their sea legs underneath them in their first game here at the SEC tournament this year. Ty Mitchell had a very productive game last night. He's in for Arkansas 15. He throws up a baseline jumper. He's become a more effective offensive player. He had 18 off the bench last night. And Jimmy, sometimes playing back-to-back days when you've had a good game, can work to your advantage.
Just stay in the groove.
Up and in by Talon Cooper.
Arkansas with 5 guys in double figures last night. Makai Mitchell, one of them. And he is really good Talking about 15 in red, setting a middle ball screen, rolling out of it, finishing a play, being a playmaker as a passer. This action right here has been really good for Arkansas the last half of the season.
Devo Davis getting set to check in for Arkansas. Mitchell and Ellis play a two-man game. The size of Josh Gray. Mitchell's huge. Gray is enormous. And tries to force him away, which he does. An end of shot clock, tough shot. South Carolina's made 4 of their last 5. Boyles knocks that in with a right.
Really, what a move. I mean, the rip through for a left-handed kid to rip it from the left side of his body to the right side and finish with ease. Man, he is a special talent.
Mark ran right into the wall of Gray. Mitchell no good, and he had it ripped away by Stute. That's just one shade of gray right there, and here it is again down low. He missed. He went up and got stuffed by the rim. Mark, lefty, no good. Cooper sees the lane, banged by Battle, and that's a good call.
A chaotic pace, I think, favors Arkansas in this game. South Carolina not built to play like that. What they are built to do is this right here. Colin Murray Boyles off that ball screen action, and then his ability to drive it and switch hands and get to the opposite side. Hard to handle, 30 and white.
Everybody dance now.
Coach, a tremendous comeback last night, a really quick start today. How are you feeling so far about the performance?
Well, obviously, when you play with this sort of turnaround, you're always worried about the energy. Obviously, knocking down a couple early threes. Brazil with the foul trouble all of a sudden. Got to get better shot quality at the other end, and defensively, we've slipped a little bit in the last 2 minutes. Got to get back to defending.
Really appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thank you for your time, Coach.
So 77-64 back on January 20th. That was the final score in South Carolina's win. Mack had 18 in that game. One note about Muss, 13-4 against conference opponents that he lost to earlier in the season. So they lost to South Carolina. He's 13-4 in those next games against the opponent.
He takes it personal, that the great head coaches do.
And that is an easy rip and a missed dunk. Wow, an easy rip and an absolute uncontested dunk, and Lawson missed it.
And Rabbit, remember that play.
Yes.
We get late in the game. If it's a one-possession game, how big that miss could be at the 11-minute mark of the first half.
Usyk drives in again. He get hammered.
I talked about the wingspan of Lawson. It gets him the deflection. He knocks it out in front, and it just comes up short. Boy, that's a big, big miss, and what could be a one-possession game late.
Mack with Lawson on him, uses that big body to get inside, throws it up, misses. Stute, 3-ball, bottom.
Rabbit, that's all B.J. Mack, though, because he didn't give up when the first shot was blocked and didn't go in. He stayed after it, won the war for the kick-out pass. A rifle pass to the open 3 shooter.
11-4 run they're on right now. This is Graham on the baseline, working into the paint, and he gets it to go.
Graham is right there with Mitchell as an inside scorer. He actually can draw fouls because he's so good at pivoting, spinning off of people.
Stute took a shot to the ribcage from Devo Davis in the paint, and that was denied, and I think Battle may have gotten it.
I just want to follow up on what Ravi was saying earlier about the potential contract extension for Lamont Paris. This is the official word from the South Carolina Gamecocks, and I love the verbiage. Here we go. I can confirm there is a Board of Trustees Governance Committee meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. and approval of an athletics employment contract is on the agenda. There you go, boys.
You've cleared it up. We know what that's about. Michi Johnson able to put that up and in. But give Ray Tanner credit, assuming that is what this is, that Paris is going to get a 6-year deal. In this conference, you got to hold him instead of fold him, and he's certainly made that transition to a power program. And there's a lot of other opportunities out there. Ohio State, Louisville, to name just a couple.
Sure. Well, Lamont Paris, his practices are like a classroom, very similar to when I used to watch Bo Ryan at Wisconsin. Kind of a student-teacher relationship, ask a lot of good questions.
Battle, got it.
He has, Josh Hubbard has good lift from Mississippi State. So does Caleb Battle, and Battle is even bigger, probably 5 or 6 inches taller. But if you're South Carolina, you do not want to let Caleb Battle get going. He can go on a 9-0 run all by himself.
He leads the way with 8. Brazil's got a couple of threes. He's got 6. Michi gets the handoff. Works the two-man game. Ball fake and just can't get it to roll in. But Mack will shoot 2 free throws. Finish the thought on Paris.
Well, Lamont Paris sees the game and coaches the game at a really high level. And they are superior at the simple parts of the game. They guard the ball, they box off, they typically don't turn it over, and they get good shots. And you watch his offense, it's unique, Ravi. When they have more passes than dribbles is when they're at their best. And that's unusual in college ball when the ball screen offense is so dominant. Guys are pounding it. Not Lamont Paris. And he has said all season long, even back in October, I said, Coach, what's the strength of your team? He said, my guys have great self-awareness. They don't think too highly of themselves, and they let me coach them. That's beautiful when those two things come together from a coaching standpoint.
Sure is. He's just a very easy guy to relate to, and you can see it the way he handles his players. Mack knocks it down, 1-point game. Gamecocks on top. All right, Boyle's back into the game. The Stoop goes to the bench. The pull-up is good. Tough shot. Zachary Davis knocked it down.
If you're going to back off and play drop coverage against Tremont Mark, he's going to make elbow jump shot after elbow jump shot.
Michi Johnson hard. No foul called, and here's a run out. Battle. Saw the green light and had it denied. Give Cooper credit there. Mack, good pass, and that's an easy layup. Really good, quick pass there. Zach Davis.
Ravi, Mack is a very skilled guy for his size, 6'8", 250. And if he makes 2 or 3 threes per game in March, South Carolina is a second weekend NCAA team. He's that big of a difference maker.
Graham used his body beautiful. Tremont Mark gets the assist.
Yeah, both teams understanding to empty that corner for your post guys. Now it just becomes an isolation play on the drop-off.
Good pace offensively. And there's a long, long three from Michi, no good. And that's going to be a foul, and down to the floor goes Zachary Davis.
And a slugfest in Nashville on Thursday afternoon. The second round of the SEC tournament. And neither team right now backing down at all. The drop coverage, Tremont Mark just gets right into his jump shot. That is his sweet spot. And at the other end, B.J. Mack, as big as he is, man, he's got a nice set of paws. He drops off nice passes and make a three-point shot. A good one right now in Nashville.
Is tied for second. They're a 5 seed, so here are the top 4, of course, and what a great season all of them have had. Alabama maybe down a little bit compared to last year. They certainly lost a lot of size. Auburn is as deep as anybody. Tennessee's got the superstars and the experience, and Kentucky has as much NBA talent as there is in the country.
Yeah, Kentucky, they don't play a game, they put on a show.
Exactly.
And so does Dalton Connect, and he changes Tennessee in March compared to where they were last year. And think about this. Tennessee last year in the NCAA tournament, no Zakai Ziegler, no Dalton Connect. Those are 2 difference makers as we advance through our own tournament right now. And Tennessee will take on Mississippi State tomorrow at noon local time. Auburn waiting the winner of this one. And then the nightcap tonight, you're going to see what Alabama-Kentucky faces tomorrow night as well. But you're right about Kentucky. I've talked to a lot of coaches outside of the SEC. The common thread when I talk to them right now and we start talking about the SEC, I don't want Kentucky in my bracket.
No.
That's who they fear more than anyone else in this league because of that talent and explosiveness and confidence and swagger that Kentucky's playing with.
A lot of all of that is what they're playing with right now.
They are. We're on track for about a 65 possession game. That favors South Carolina.
Jeremiah Davenport is in for Arkansas. He has the ball now. Battle Mark, Devo Davis on the floor as well, and that's a little too strong out of the gate for Davenport. Got a lot of energy in those legs. Boyles has got Devo Davis on him, who's given up about 4 or 5 inches, if not more. And they are working hard to get it to him. They got away with a push-off. Davis comes from behind to knock it away. Pushed off the back to free up some space for himself.
Yeah, he did. He goes left and lefter, 30 and white. And you can't take it away from him. His game's going to grow. He's going to have to develop a three-point shot before he goes to the next level as an NBA player. And he's going to work on it in the offseason. But, boy, he is a load on the inside.
Watch
That's
it.
too easy.
Oh, boy, they left him wide open. 4 on the shot clock. They got to get it up. He does, and that will rattle around and go in.
How soft is that release for a big, strong, physical kid? He is the one SEC athlete around the rim that South Carolina has.
He's got 11. Double team step through cross court. Davenport high arcing 3. That's way off. Offensive rebound, and he didn't go up and get it nearly as aggressively to Jalen Graham. He had a chance to rip that with 2 hands. Ends up in the hands of South Carolina. They want Mack to take and make more threes. He sets up a 3 in the corner that comes up short. Mack has put his arm up with his fist and maybe signaling for a substitution, and that defensive effort might suggest, yes, I could use a blow.
Yeah, good job at Devo Davis to recognize South Carolina did not get back and build a wall. They don't stop the ball. Devo Davis has played as many minutes in this SEC tournament as anybody has this year.
Mack, pull up, got it.
Isn't he a hard? He is a tough cover, right? Because he can stretch you defensively with a three-point shot. He can do things off the bounce for himself and others. He's a load around the rim.
Mack and Murray Boyles are a real interesting, challenging twosome to deal with. Given his size.
Yeah, and for Mack, everything is below the rim. He's not an above the rim guy at all.
Well, he's gotten burned twice on the defensive end. And Lamont Paris is kind of yelling at the defense to pick it up a little bit. 2 easy layups. Given up on the last 2 trips.
And you can go back and watch 2 or 3 game films in a row from South Carolina, and they don't give up layups.
Mack has it down low. He's able to flip it up and in. PJ Mack putting together a resume reel offensive first half.
A key guy in that transfer portal coming out of Wofford, Lamont Paris. He bet on the right things when he went to rebuild his roster from last year to this year. He's one of the guys that win and want to be coached hard.
Eric Musselman slammed his hand down on the scorer's table over there after that shot from Mark. Slammed it down. Right. Filling the void, Michi, no good. Graham called for it, and then he took his eyes off of it. And that's going to be South Carolina ball. Murray Boyles creates the turnover.
Well, this is a kid that he moves so well without the ball, and contact actually favors this guy. And we talk about how good are you after contact in this league. It's very important, and he from day one has been a very physical force. He's a driver and a driver and a driver, and just those body blow plays around the rim, he wins more than he loses.
And then he bring in 7-foot, 265-pound Josh Gray. Again, Makai Mitchell doing a lot of battle underneath. Boyles to his left. Oh, he had a dunk in mind. Lawson reached in to poke it away. We will take a timeout. Under 4 to go in a 1-point game.
All right, coming up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors halftime report, Coach Bruce Pearl going to be hanging out with us on set. We'll have him break down this game, but Finch, what are you seeing so
I love
far?
the response of the Razorbacks to the physicalness of South Carolina. CMB, we all we got. South Carolina.
Looks like the Hogs have been able to get up and down, get some fast break opportunities.
Back to that.
Looks like those 3 guys can leave, and Pearl's going to join you at the half.
Well, think about Bruce Pearl. Back in 2019, Auburn was a 5 seed. They won 4 games in 4 days on the way to the Final Four, and they got hot at the right time.
Yes,
man,
they
there's
did.
so much value, Ravi, and when the shot's in the air, does it go in or not this time of the year?
Jared Harbour and company caught fire
Bryce Brown, I believe Jalen Williams was a freshman on that team. That's how long he's been involved.
So as you guys can see, Colin Murray Boyles is wearing a red, pink, orange kind of motif there on his Under Armour shoes. He started the game in white, but the white shoes ripped, so the equipment manager hustled back and got him a new pair. Coach Paris loves this young man. He said a few times this year that he feels like Murray Boyles has one of the highest ceilings of any player he's ever been around. A really bright future for that young man.
Yeah, a lot of fluorescent shoes on the floor right now.
And Lamont's been around some outstanding players, especially back at Wisconsin on their runs to the Final Four.
Battle kicks. Mitchell. Left hand. Count it. And a chance for three.
I say good job because Makai Mitchell was so quick from the time he got it to the time he got it up. There's no wasted time or movement. He gets it, one bounce, gets his feet underneath his shoulders, Ravi. So important. If he doesn't, and if you're a big guy and you jump with your feet outside your shoulders, you can't go through contact. Really good job by Makai Mitchell to stay balanced before he left the wood.
He's become a much better offensive player. Much better.
There's BP.
Getting set for his appearance on the SEC. Would you say that's fair that the other three guys can leave? Bruce can fill it. He can fill it.
He didn't even need a question.
He can fill it.
He was running hot at 7:50 a.m. local time, right? At his shoot around.
Step back three's a little too strong. Mark goes up to rip it down. Back and forth this game has gone. 1 point either way. Mitchell with Stute on him. Tries to back him down. Not done yet. Into the paint. Left hand. Count that. Boy, Makai Mitchell is off an 18-point performance, Jimmy, and putting together another very good game here.
He was patient, but he was also powerful. When he made his move, his shoulders, that's how he scored.
Cooper had Gray rolling, and they're going to call Mitchell there. He came down with those arms, and that's always going to be a foul, even though Eric Musselman doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, on the other end, Makai Mitchell right here. It's patience and then, bam, power. You see how he whips that right shoulder around right into the upper body of Stute to clear out space. What Eric Musselman didn't like was the far side official running in to make the call, but it was the right call. He had a good view of it, and he could see the arms come down.
Cooper to the stripe. South Carolina 6 of 7 from the free throw line so far. Tuesday night, SEC Network, the ESPN app. Our next SEC Inside gives you an all-access pass to this men's basketball tournament. 9 Eastern, 8 Central. You'll get never-before-seen footage, sound from players and coaches, a behind-the-scenes look. That's Tuesday night, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
When are they going to do one of those on you and I? Just give them access for the week.
Yeah, when there's an ESPN 9. Right after the Ocho. Hanging, and that's going to be 2 for Battle. What do you think would be the best part of that? Like the breakfast, the elevator rides, the numerical scoreboard we keep?
The text messages?
The text messages? That's ESPN 29.
You know, you mentioned South Carolina's pace of play, and we make way too much of pace these days. It's not the pace you play, it's how good are you at the pace you want to play. South Carolina is so good at it. They don't let the game get out of hand typically. They've been blown out a couple of times, but their style, their pace, their belief in how the game's supposed to be played from their head coach just resonates throughout their team. And Arkansas right now in a physical ball game, holding up after a win last night.
Caleb Battle first to double figures for Arkansas with 10. Cooper Stute fills and fires. Can't find it. Look at Gray rip it away from Mark. Huge size advantage. Josh Gray flushed it.
Arkansas has been hurt some on the defensive glass throughout the year. They have to gang rebound.
Mitchell comes up, sets that high screen. El Ellis on the switch. That's going to be a foul there on Stute. Got him with the body on a handoff to Lawson.
Yeah, the 16th foul on South Carolina. Watch Gray right here. I mean, he wins that restricted arc area right in front of the rim. If you win that spot, you most likely win the rebounds because of it. That's a strong, strong two-hand rebound by Gray. He tries to get it with one. It probably doesn't end up as a South Carolina basket.
Meechie Johnson back in. People wondering, Trevon Brazile started great. He had 2 threes in the first couple of minutes. He picked up his second foul, and he has not returned since.
1-3-1 by South Carolina. It changed the game against Florida.
Lawson had it. Mitchell rips it. And he wisely resets. Battle behind the back, and he dribbled it right to South Carolina. Right. No good. Who's got it? Gray does again.
Yeah, well, where is Gray? He's right in front of the rim, and he just carves out space and holds people off. And this 1-3-1, Ravi, Lamont Paris has used it just a handful of times this year, but man, it has been really good to him because of Davis up top. Number 12 is 6'10", he's long, he's active. You've got to get that ball below the free throw line extended. Yeah, Arkansas just can't handle it.
Yeah. So would you say when Gray camps out underneath, he's in the gray area?
Yeah, that's very clearly where he's living. And Eric Musselman will have to talk about how are we going to handle the 1-3-1 at halftime. Back-to-back possessions. Arkansas has not handled it well in this first half.
1 point lead, South Carolina, less than a minute to go. Meechie, long three, and he comes up just short. He's 0 for 4 now from three-point land is Meechie Johnson. Battle got 10. It's about a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Well, they're unorganized in their 1-3-1 because Davis now not at the point. So it's easier to get the ball side to side. But, Rav, you got to get this thing below the free throw line extended if you're Arkansas.
They got to go with 5 seconds, and Mark has it. Battle's going to have to shoot it. And he never got it off. I think the 1-3-1 has caused all sorts of problems.
It has. 3 straight possessions. Arkansas comes up empty. And again, draw line across the court, across that free throw line. The ball has got to get below that part against a 1-3-1, no matter how you get it there.
3.9 on the clock. They'll try to get it to Meechie, and he will try to dribble if they can. El Ellis is on him, and a timeout's going to be called by Paris just to set this last play up with 3.9 to go.
Yeah, use your timeout instead of wasted, because you have time with basically 4 seconds to get 3 dribbles, if not 4, into a shot. The difference right now for Lamont Paris, can he get the ball on the move into the hands of Meechie Johnson or Taylon Cooper? That's a big deal. If you're South Carolina, you want to catch the ball going towards South Carolina's basket. You see him drawing it up right here. Get a sneak of it or what, but I'm sure he's trying to get some type of a NASCAR cut, something with speed on the catch.
Catch the ball while you're moving.
Absolutely.
Car driving by, trying to throw the football into it.
That's it. And that's, yeah, you see that little, you can tell by the drawing that he did, that banana cut to get a guy on the move. You got time to kick it ahead to a shot from the corner 3.
We're going to go.
After review, the shot clock has been reset to 4.3.
Got an extra 0.4.
That's a big deal.
We're going to go banana cut or NASCAR.
Well, they're both the same. Just visualize speed into the corner, like speed as you're turning is what you want right now.
You're helping Marty out.
Yeah, Meechie Johnson is 5 and white right here in front of us, and you're trying to get the ball on the move.
He's got it. And he's got 3. He's got 2. He's got a layup. And he knocks it down. What a play. Meechie Johnson.
How important were those 0.4 seconds that they put back on the clock? Yes, just what I thought they would do. You try to get your guard on the move.
NASCAR, Marty, NASCAR.
Thank you, Coach. A tremendous finish there for you guys. What did you like? What do you want to see them do better?
I think we got off to a slow start defensively. I think we do a much better job that way. Offensively, we found our groove. A couple guys got in and seemed a little unsettled, but we found our groove. I think the biggest part was we gave some stuff up early defensively. We got to find our groove defensively.
Really appreciate your time. Thank you, Coach. Ravi?
It's the junior Meechie keeping his eye on the clock, Jimmy.
Well, you got 4 dribbles to work with. And right there, you get that ball going towards your basket. Arkansas just doesn't stop the ball. They get it stretched out, which you can't do in conversion defense with a short clock, you've got to pack that thing in and not give a drive opportunity. Well done by the timeout.
Good first half, man. 38-35. We're about set to send it to Peter, Damian, Ron, Pat, and Coach Pearl, the Academy Sports and Outdoor Halftime Report. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. This is day 2 after night 1 last night. Arkansas and South Carolina, the SEC. Tournament continues, ESPN's Champ Week. As we get set for the start of the second half, good news for Arkansas. Trevin Brazile with 2 fouls is going to be back in the game. South Carolina played at the pace they wanted to, and CMB was the difference offensively.
Yeah, to your point about Brazile, Arkansas was +6 when Brazile was on the floor, -9 from that point forward when he went to the bench with foul trouble. CMB, Colin Murray Boyles for South Carolina, is a special talent, man. He's got a ruggedness about him. He's a highly skilled athlete that they put in that side pick and roll action multiple times a half and let him roll out of a clean, and then this is his money shot, man. Ravi, he has shot 70% from the 2-point part of the floor over the last month, and he wins the contact plays, and if he turns right shoulder with that left jump hook, it is an unblockable shot. The good news for South Carolina as well, he does not have a foul, so he's going to play with a lot of freedom in the second half.
5 of 8 you saw from the floor as we are underway. Again, South Carolina in white, Arkansas in their red. And a defensive assignment for Brazile is B.J. Mack, and he's got him out top. Elon Cooper open 3. Long rebound, right back to 55. They're going to get a foul before that ball was out of bounds.
Fellas, you see head coach Eric Musselman there. He actually asked me to speak to assistant coach Todd Lee exiting the locker room. Coach Lee told me they have to rebound better in the second half. They gave up 11 second chance points. He said South Carolina's a really physical team. We're going to have to match that. They're 1 for 9 from 3, so we did really well there. But you guys were showing Boyles as he gets another bucket there. He said, we let him dictate what he wanted to do. We let him get to that left hook that Jimmy was showing just a moment ago. We just can't let him do that.
Yeah, and he just showed his versatility because he went with the right paw there. They got a 5-point lead. It's their largest of the game. Battle one-on-one with Michi. Tough shot, fade away. That's short. South Carolina, will they take an opportunity to run? They will, all the way to the rack, and it goes up and in. Effort by Taylon Cooper.
Taylon Cooper reads the floor as well as any guard in this league in transition offense. He's not the fastest guy, but high IQ. It just has a great feel in the open floor. Makes him a step or a step and a half faster than he normally is.
Last 2 minutes of the first half, and now a 10-0 run for South Carolina. Mitchell, offensively effective in the first half, about set to check back in here early in the second. There's another shot short by Battle, who was looking for a foul on the shot. Feels like, Jimmy, we're at a place where South Carolina is kind of imposing its will on the game, especially offensively. Mack has L. Ellis on him. Turn and move him out. He does just that, but he missed. But Murray Boyles is there. Eric Musselman's team's in a little trouble here to start this second half.
Ravi, when you have a mismatch on the shooter, there's also going to be a mismatch the majority of the time cleaning up the rebound. The Gamecocks, they don't beat themselves, man. They don't turn the ball over much. They guard the ball. All 5 dudes box off.
Very flat offensive effort. They've missed all their shots. That 3, another one that came up short from Ellis. Hard drive, no good. Put back up and in. One team looks like they're interested, and the other does not.
The points in the paint in this ball game, I think it's 34-16 now in favor of the Gamecocks. They thrive in body blow plays do the South Carolina Gamecocks. Colin Murray Boyles, the right shoulder is his keys, but he has a counter. You take that away, and this is just an old-fashioned mismatch. Mack just blows up Ellis, and you don't have the backside secured. And the 34th paint point of the game for South Carolina. Gamecocks taking charge, up 11. Neutral floor in March. In this tournament or the NCAA tournament, you got to be able to hold your own and win those strength plays. Interesting watching South Carolina play. They have so much of Wisconsin in their DNA, how they go about it. But Bo Ryan, when Lamont Paris was an assistant for all those years at Wisconsin, offensively, they played in a box.
Yeah.
And Lamont Paris sees the game with a lot more freedom offensively. He has some quick hitters that he goes to. But from that point on, they really move the ball and screen and play concepts and a little bit more offensive freedom. The same defensive toughness as the old school Wisconsin teams, but a little bit more free-flowing on the offensive end.
So you have that big turnaround like Lamont did. Now this word of a contract extension, but how many unread text messages did he say he had?
1,100. 1,100 unread text messages as of yesterday.
Likely to go up immensely in light of the news that's being reported.
Which made me feel good because I texted him about 24 hours, maybe 48 hours ago, and he returned my text.
Wow.
Yes.
And he said it's all
done
about
at that point.
the timing of the text.
I want to know, you two, how many unread texts do you two have? I guess you're a little busy right this second, but I can tell you that my current number is 889.
Really?
Yes.
Only 300 shy of Lamont Paris.
Cooper with the fade.
Cooper is a hooper. Now, he's not the fastest guard in the league, but he's big and physical and just knows how to. He is the key to the engine of this South Carolina team offensively.
Yeah, and right now it's coming apart for Arkansas as they're down 13.
Watch Taylon Cooper. They just don't get sped up individually or as a team. He just pivots right out of the contact. Shoots a very high, soft shot, an easy miss to rebound if it does miss. He has had an all-conference type year, Taylon Cooper.
The other incredible stat for South Carolina, Jimmy, similar to Wisconsin, they take great care of the ball.
Yes.
They have 3 turnovers the entire game and have gone their last 26 trips without one. That's incredible. Brazil just had it ripped away. Great hands by Colin Murray Boyles. Mack 3, no. Caleb Battle take this thing over. He's got a double team on him. Mitchell going to work in the paint, throws it up with that left and gets it to go. So effective, 15 in red.
Now Arkansas now, I believe they're 8 out of 9 at the rim. The only miss they've had at the rim was the dunk by Chandler Lawson in the first half.
PJ Mack one-on-one, throwing Mitchell backwards, banging into him again, and they're going to get him with an offensive foul. Good defense by Mitchell. He's probably feeling it in his rib cage right now.
Yeah, sometimes you can get away with the first shoulder bump, but the second one gets called right into the chest of Makai Mitchell. Boom, right there. Good call. This is the free throw line extended, and when South Carolina goes to their 1-3-1 defense, if they do, the ball has to get below that free throw line extended line. And Arkansas in the first half, the ball never got below it. And so you're just playing catch up top. And South Carolina, they're more than happy to let you just throw the ball back and forth and then take a tough contested shot late in the shot clock. And Zachary Davis, 12 in white, when he's up top, now it's a real problem to work against because he's all of 6'10", and he's active with his arms and his feet. That defense in the back pocket of Lamont Paris is a real problem. They probably don't have to use it in the second half of this game, but it has absolutely changed the game for this year for Lamont Paris against Florida and on the road at Georgia. Just another piece of the puzzle that you have to be prepared for when you play South Carolina.
SEC Coach of the Year, AP Coach of the Year. First time that a coach at South Carolina has won both in the same season. That's Lamont Paris this year. Graham spun himself into some real trouble. Mitchell comes out high and they switch places. Graham on the baseline, that is up and in. A tough shot by Battle.
Good job by Battle. I mean, that's a scoring cut. He didn't stand and watch. He made a sprint to the ball, won the race to the ball, and scores because of it.
And they come up with a few stops to get themselves back in this thing. Arkansas down 9. Jalen Graham gets the Murray Boyles assignment, and that's just a soft touch off the window.
When he gets to that, turns to his right shoulder and releases it with that left, it is unblockable.
8 of 11 today, Jimmy. Really, really good.
Yeah.
18 points. Colin Murray Boyles. 11-point lead. They got to score almost every time down, it feels like, because South Carolina's been so efficient. They're going to get the offensive foul, that time on Mitchell. A moving screen.
From day one, Colin Murray Boyles for South Carolina has just been a force inside, and he's so patient for a young kid. He gets to this isn't that isolation, it's man on man, and if you can't take away that right shoulder and force him back to the middle, it's money. And once he gets to that part of the floor, the game is in his hands and the ball is in the rim.
Out of Columbia, South Carolina playing and staying at home. 14:20 to go. Gray, yes sir, count it, foul, battle, chance for a 3.
And they are so physical, South Carolina. They will get away with knocking you around 4 or 5 times a game, and Josh Gray is really good at it. Just punishes a smaller defender on the inside. Josh Gray has been really good. I mean, at one point, Ravi, he was averaging 1 rebound every 3 minutes in conference play. Just really, really solid. And one of the Frank Martin holdovers. That's a tough kid out of Brooklyn, New York. Freshman year at LSU.
7-footer. Again, you send CMB to the bench and you bring in somebody like Gray. They can wear you down. BJ Mack, such a big body. 13-point lead. Where will the points come from? Brazil had a couple of threes early, and he has been silent since, and another turnover.
Yeah, no offense by Brazil. And Caleb Battle and Tremont Mark are the guys that Eric Musselman normally goes to in this situation.
Maybe Coach Musselman sitting down with his team down 13. Now to his feet. Great interior pass. Gray had it blocked by Graham from behind. Double team. Graham still fighting. Dumps it off Mitchell. He is so physical when he gets that ball down low.
And a good job by Grant to continue to fight and fight and fight and get the ball out of the double team. He was getting the life trapped out of him, but a good job to get loose and find Mitchell.
Mismatch, baseline move. Mitchell up in the air, and a couple of free throws coming for Taylon Cooper. As we get set for some free throws, a reminder, Saturday afternoon, Missouri's annual black and gold spring football game. Your chance to see head coach Eli Drinkwitz's team going into next season. We'll start at the 2 Eastern, 1 Central. That's on SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. You want to find SEC Network Plus, please go to secnetwork.com, download the ESPN app. Cooper's free throw is good. Substitutions for both teams. Steve-O Davis in. Mark is out for Arkansas.
If you think about Taylon Cooper, we've talked about how South Carolina, they just don't turn the ball over. It starts with this kid. He's played over 650 minutes in SEC play. Only 24 turnovers. That's a crazy good number from your lead guard to handle that rock and be so strong and clean with it.
Steve-O Davis has had some terrific games in tournaments. Is there any magic left in his left hand? Down low, Mitchell, so good, man. He is having himself a game. Makai Mitchell, 2 more points.
Eric Musselman now going inside himself. South Carolina only 3 team fouls. So Eric Musselman trying to hammer that ball inside, score at the rim, and try to get to that free throw line if they can get to the bonus.
Mitchell's got 13. Stute back in for South Carolina. Right all the way. No foul by Brazil. Better defense, and they get numbers now. 5 on 4 if they want it. Look at Mitchell.
I looked.
Everything right up until the shot was worthy of looking at.
Yes, it was.
The blow by. Stute, 3. Line drive, never seemed to get above the rim. chance to cut it to 8. They are 1 of 12 from 3. Big trip here for Arkansas. Battle the roll. Brazil pull up. That's a 2. No good. Davis right there. Bad job, South Carolina. Jimmy boxing out.
Yeah, Devo Davis, the third best rebounding guard to ever play at Arkansas behind Sidney Moncrief and Todd Day. Yeah, good job of reading the ball in flight. Arkansas just, they're not going away. They have a strong will about them.
Michi missed the layup, got it back, missed another one. He short-armed it, and he got a hold of Battle. They're going to call that on a frustration foul for Michi. 2 bunnies. Neither one of them came home. It's 53-45, under 12 to go at the SEC tournament.
Oh, Shoemate! You want to see a Skywalker? Keep your eyes on Kristen Shoemate.
KJ crosses half court. KJ for the win. It's up. KJ Johnson hit it. Cardoso for 3. Banks it in. A miracle for the Gamecocks. Coach told me to shoot it, so I just stepped back and shot it.
We talked, Marty, with some of the other coaches. Look, they said anytime a game is late, even the three-point shooters who aren't three-point shooters become three-point shooters, and that's what kept that South Carolina win streak alive. Marty.
Thank you, Ravi. I appreciate it. Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks go undefeated once again. Congratulations first. To get to that place, you guys had dominant victories, nail-biting victories, fights. You had the whole gamut. When you reflect on the season you've had to date, what stands out?
What stands out is our chemistry, our team chemistry. Young group, not together a whole lot, but they believe in each other. And their eyes get bright on game day. Not necessarily all the time in practice, but game day, they take it to another level. So I'm super proud that they have been consistent on game day.
I was talking to Michi Johnson this morning, and he told me how much you guys inspire him and his teammates. How do you describe what Coach Paris has done this season?
Lamont's calm, cool, collected. But he's the ultimate competitor, and you see that in his guys. They got great chemistry, they got great culture, and as you can see, it requires that to get the amount of wins that they're getting in. Kudos to Lamont for taking it to Ray Tanner. Taking it to Ray Tanner's wallet.
Oh, he took it to the wallet. Okay, good. Hopefully your wallet's getting fatter. When you try to describe the challenge of going unblemished through a Southeastern Conference schedule, regardless of the sport, how do you even begin to articulate that challenge?
Yeah, you don't. Like, you just said it. We've had nail-biting wins. We've had the comeback from down double digits. You find the lessons that you need to learn through winning. And a lot of people say you might need a loss to go into the tournament. We don't. We have enough lessons in the winnings that we've had that we know what it feels like to lose. We lose every day. We lose every day to our highlighters, our male practice players. Every day, some type of drill, we lose to them. So we know what that feels like. But it's gonna take 6 games to win a national championship. We're gonna take one game at a time and not get ahead of ourselves.
Best of luck. We appreciate your time, Coach, always. Ready?
All right, Marty, thank you. Missed opportunities at the free throw line, including a violation by Mitchell. It's a bad pass, but Battle gets it back.
Whatever you think about this, Dawn Staley, they have not lost a regular season game since December 30th, 2021. That's how dominant, unbelievable, that program has been.
Graham's been terrific, Jimmy, down the stretch here. He missed the layup, but there he goes up high for the offensive rebound. All of a sudden, it's down to 6.
Arkansas just refusing to go away. Arkansas is winning, it feels like, that restricted arc area right now on the offensive end. He's continuing to jackhammer the ball on the inside with Mitchell and Graham.
Mitchell defensively turned him aside. There's a 3 over Brazil. That's no good. Loose ball. Rebound Arkansas. They've got 1 point in their last 8 trips down to South Carolina after we talked about how efficient they've been. Davis double teamed. It's going to be out of bounds. It'll stay with Arkansas.
That's what I'm talking about with Arkansas. Their bigs are impacting this game. And a good reach rebound by Graham. Sometimes you have to reach with one hand on a rebound just to keep it in play. And Graham, so good and so skilled at pivoting away from contact to free himself up.
Elon Cooper back into the game. Mitchell and Graham very active. Here's Davis. Finds Mitchell. Short. Had a couple of shots at the rim. Haven't been able to convert. Graham facing up. Now they double team with Brazil. Mack looked good from the moment he shot it.
That all started though with Colin Murray-Boyles to accept the double team and say, okay, I'll make you pay. Take me out of the game. I'll reverse it around to my other big that can stroke it. Man, how important is B.J. Mack to this team in March if he can make 2 or 3 threes a game?
Yep, that's what they said. Take them and make them. Here's a good bounce pass on the baseline of Battle, who lays it up and in. That shot by Mack ended what was a 5-minute drought for the Gamecocks scoring. They got a nice roll here and an easy one. Good 2-man game that time. Murray-Boyles working alongside Zachary Davis.
He continues to make 70-75% of his shots in the 2-point part of the floor in this game as well.
That's a foul far away from the basket on Michi Johnson.
This last 3-point shot though by B.J. Mack. On the double team of the ball, hold it right here. This is the guy you're going to be concerned with as he relocates out. And once that ball comes out of this double team, man, it's money for South Carolina. Get it out of there. Now you got numbers on the backside. Bam, this backside bomb right there. You just can't recover to it when you commit 2 to the ball and it comes out that quickly.
Mitchell leaves it for Davis. Another bounce pass on the baseline, and that time Murray-Boyles ripped it away from Draymond Mark. Boyles to his left, too strong, and he lays it up and in.
Too strong, too fast. Boy, is he a force coming down the middle of the third of the floor in transition basketball.
It was a bit of a NASCAR type move. He got that thing when he was going downhill. 22 on 10 of 13 shooting for CMB. Bad pass, that's another turnover. Well, there are peaks and then there are big-time valleys for Arkansas. Their 11th turnover against just 4 for South Carolina.
Yeah, went from a 6-point game to an 11-point game just like that. Colin Murray-Boyles so good at relocating the ball after those ball screens, and then right down the middle third of the floor, just not much resistance by Mitchell. The Gamecocks start to push this thing out. Up 11. My favorite number, by the way.
11?
Yeah, didn't know that.
7.5 left here. 60-49 South Carolina leading Arkansas. Marty Smith, Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch on the outside. Come on inside tonight. A couple of big games. Georgia and Florida, the 6-11 game. Georgia needed about a 12-0 run last night to beat Missouri. A&M on the floor, and they desperately need to win against Coach Beard and his Ole Miss team. Getting to the wall is going to be important tonight for somebody. Get a nice meal out of that. We just heard the way that Don Staley described Lamont Paris getting inside Ray Tanner. There is the athletic director, the former baseball coach in South Carolina with some championships under his belt. Speaking of championships, that's what Dawn is certainly hoping her South Carolina Gamecocks deliver. Again, all right, Jimmy, so tonight's games, give me a couple of things to look forward to.
I think A&M is in really good shape in the NCAA tournament. I know Joe Lunardi right now has them as the first team out. I'm not so sure that's correct. When you really look at A&M's resume, Ravi, they have 5 quad 1 wins. And there are several teams that are being projected as a 9 or 10 seed that have 2 or 3. I think those quad 1 wins are going to hold up really well for Texas A&M. Now, do they need to win tonight? Absolutely. You don't want to go into this right now with a loss, but look at who all those teams other than A&M and Villanova being projected in. Look at the number of quad 1 wins that the Aggies have. One of them against Iowa State out of the Big 12 on a neutral floor. Those wins don't go away. I think those wins matter. I think the Aggies will be in that NCAA tournament.
All right. So Jimmy Dykes bracketology. You're suggesting that we go with Jimmy Dykes bracketology over Lunardi. I mean, this is infighting here. You and Lenardi. Does he know that you're going at him?
Yes, he and I exchanged text messages.
All right.
I'm not just saying it because A&M's in the SEC. You've got to reward teams that played a challenging non-conference schedule, which Buzz's guys did this year.
Yeah.
And they held up well in it. And they got some good wins inside this league as well. And I think A&M's in really good shape. And if they lose, I think it gets a 50-50 call. But right now, I think they would be in that NCAA tournament.
I'm just more intrigued by the Lenardi-Dykes kind of
sparring in each
yeah,
other.
a little bit of that
can happen.
Yeah.
If it's not him, it's you.
Somebody else, yeah. But it's good to know that on the text chain of yours, you did respond to Lenardi and vice versa. He's probably got some I guess he's got some unread text messages.
Over 1,100.
He may see the name and say, nope, not answering that one. I know what that one's about. Foul on Murray Boyles. He wasn't too pleased that the ensuing shot was made. And then we had a shoe blowout. Kelly Graham lost the shoe, made the basket, will shoot free throws.
Tough day for shoes. You know, when I was playing for Arkansas one time, we had a guy blow out a shoe.
Yeah.
And coach called me up at the end of the bench and said, "What size shoe do you wear?" And I told him, he said, "Take it off and give it to the."
Oh, Eric Musselman, Jr.
He sure did.
Technical foul. Before the ball was thrown inbounds, he received a technical foul, and on a 13-point game with 7 minutes to go, it's a tough time to pick up one.
Uncharted territory this year for Eric Musselman. He has never had a below 500 season in all of his years as a head coach. 23 of them when you track back CBA, USBL, 3 times in the NBA, a couple of D-League stints as a head coach. And staring at the first time to ever finish below 500.
Largest lead for South Carolina. As Mac picks up points 15 and 16. Yeah, finish that story. So your coach said, "Can you please give me your shoe?"
Yeah.
Meaning we're probably not going to get you into this one.
Probably not. If I do, it's one shoe on and one shoe off. But like a good team player,
yeah,
gave up my shoe. We won the game at A&M, and happy bunch of hogs headed home that day.
What size leather are you wearing there? What is your shoe size?
It was size 11. Back then, we didn't have a lot of extra shoes, you know, like kids do now.
Is that why your favorite number is 11? Shoe
What?
size? Is that why your favorite number is 11?
That was my jersey. You like Jalen Graham.
I see that.
Yeah.
Were you 11 every uniform you had? That was the number you always wanted.
It wasn't. No, I was always 11.
Is that after somebody, or you just liked 11?
I want to be one better than one.
Wait, what? You wanted to be one better than one? What? What does that mean?
There's Marty's public enemy #1 right there.
One better than Boss
Marty,
Hog?
there's your boy, Boss Hog.
Let me tell you, man, my coffee is being guarded with great haste. I cannot let that gentleman right there get anywhere near my Java. I was terrified earlier that celery was going to end up in my lap.
One of the great mascots in all of sports right there.
Our statistician, Taro, says 2 is 1 better than 1, isn't it? Not 1 is 1 better? Like, is this the pain in the shoulder now emanating to the head?
I was not a math major.
But Boyles, he hung up there in the air for a while. Now he picks it up. That's blocked by Mitchell.
He is so quick to the ball. Is he not? Colin Murray Boyles, even on his misses.
Baseline, yes, what a play. And that could be a nail in a coffin as Davis has a chance to finish off a 3 and put him up 17.
Man, when he can find a seam, this kid, that is his key to his offense. His dad was his high school coach at Denmark Olar High School in Denmark, South Carolina. A small town, about 3,000 in population, was the 1A player of the year. And he has a ton of potential. Just a high-level defender, plays the top of that 1-3-1, long, fast, energy in his game.
6'7", 194. Walker is good. He's played a very good game. Graham has been active. He's 5 of 6 from the floor. He's got 11 points.
Yeah, what can Arkansas do defensively to change this game up right now with 6 minutes to go? Because they've got to get back-to-back stops. They've got to find a way to create some turnovers. It's a possession game for South Carolina when you play against them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Not there, and that was your isolation on that one side, and Gray threw it down. 2 or 3 times a game, Lamont Paris will get his quick play call to empty out that corner. Now becomes a 2-man game. His bigs are really good. Multiple guys rolling out of it to score. Good hands there from behind by the man who just made that bucket. That's Davis. Down low again, so effective. What a game Murray Boyles has had. 24 points on 11 of 15 shooting.
And now that South Carolina 1-3-1 to close the game out. A lot of length up top. They take time off the clock. They force you to take tough twos against it.
46 points in the paint for South Carolina. 46. It's a new season high for them. Arkansas really came out in the second half, and you could just tell they were a little flat, maybe a little tired from last night, trying to win 5 games in 5 days. The way things are going right now, it looks like they're going to win 1, and that is going to be it. There's a baseline flush with very little defensive effort from Arkansas.
Now the energy level has just dropped out of Arkansas in the last 3 or 4 minutes. South Carolina just grinds away, man. They really get into your legs for the pace that they play.
What they've done all year, Jimmy.
Yeah.
They keep you off the scoreboard, and they just physically wear you down. Between Murray Boyles and Mack and their size, they really do, and they just don't make mistakes.
No. Lamont Paris said this is 28th year, I think, in college basketball, and he has the most coachable group he's ever been associated with. All year long, that's been their strength. You know, another part of their strength is what they do offensively. When they empty the corner with their side ball screen action, this corner over here, Ravi, is going to end up empty, so there's no defensive help to come off of it. You set the ball screen, you roll off of it. Man, that's just easy money. That naked, empty ball screen action, prevalent in college ball. South Carolina really good at it.
All right, Jimmy, time for the Confident Player, brought to you by Regions.
Well, that's Colin Murray Boyles has been the confident player. He's a big reason why South Carolina, Ravi, has 50 paint points in this game. He's just too strong, too tough, too determined. And in the middle part of the floor, in the half-court of transition, if he goes downhill, you're not stopping him. And the physicality this kid plays with as a true freshman just jumps off the screen. And hard, tough covers this kid. He continues to shoot at a high clip now, probably about 73% over the last 8 or 9 ball games from the 2-point part of the floor.
Should be a pretty good battle down there with Janai Broome and Cardwell.
No doubt.
Auburn awaits the winner of this one, and by 20 with 3:56. And it certainly feels like it's going to be South Carolina. Arkansas, they're kind of teetering on the edge most of the season between good, bad, and ugly, and today has ended up between bad and ugly the way it's gone in the second half.
And South Carolina will have some great motivation, because when they played Auburn at Auburn back in mid-December, 101-61. Auburn beat South Carolina 101-61. That game got away from them, and Bruce Pearl's team is capable of doing it in the jungle. But this will be on a neutral floor tomorrow. And don't think that Lamont Paris won't challenge his guys, that you got a chance to try to make a right out of something that went wrong just over a month ago.
Building here is emptied a wee bit. Maybe trying to get a little early dinner in, a little Broadway activity before the double dip tonight. And then the big boys are all on the floor tomorrow, the top 4 seeds in the tournament. You know, one of the things about Kentucky, and everybody talks about all their skill, and out of this conference, you know, people are asking you, like how good are they? I mean, what happens when they play well and they're right? It feels like if you had given them another, I don't know, month, 6 weeks, they wouldn't lose. Like, they get used to playing even more with each other.
Yeah.
The challenge that these coaches have in getting the team to gel, given the portal, given the freshmen, how difficult is that?
Well, but now it's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's putting a team together with a one-year run at it. And Kentucky's limit is, what are they going to do defensively, not only here in Nashville, but in March? Because offensively, there's no issues with Kentucky. They're going to find a way to score enough points. And if they get hot defensively like they did at Auburn this year, where they just locked you up, man, they are a serious Final Four threat right there with the best of them. UConn, Purdue, Houston, Tennessee, Arizona. There's no doubt Kentucky is right there at that level.
It feels like that's a conversation you have a lot with them. Ooh, pretty reverse is made up and in. That brings the crowd some oohs and ahs. Talon Cooper, Davis the other way. Trading baskets may be great for the fans here. It's not going to help Arkansas on the bottom line. But you've had that conversation. This year feels a little different with Kentucky in the legitimacy of that conversation.
No, I think Cal loves his team, and he knows he's got a special group. I mean, how many teams in the country, I can answer, I'll ask you again and answer at the same time. How many teams in the country have two dudes off the bench that are going to be lottery picks if they both go? Reed Sheppard and Dillingham. None. I got to know. That's the depth that they have. And that depth is real. BJ Mack, I'm telling you, he's as big of a key for South Carolina in this tournament and beyond as anybody that Lamont Paris has. If he can make that three ball at a high clip, man, they become tough to cover.
Brazil got fouled. Trevin Brazil started the game like he was going to end up with 30 points. He had 2 threes right away and nothing since then. Mack on the other side has knocked down a couple of the long ones.
Yeah, he's only 29% from the three-point line, BJ Mack, in conference play this year. But, man, it looks good coming off of his hand, and he shoots it with a lot of confidence. And Lamont Paris has given him the green light to shoot 4 or 5 a game. Just make a couple. Really completes them on the offensive end. A team that was picked dead last in the SEC, 14 out of 14. And Lamont told his guys, there's a reason why you're picked last. The other coaches in the league either think that I stink or they think you stink. And it's on all of us to prove them wrong.
I know I don't stink.
What a big, massive chip that they have used to their advantage all year long, and I love it.
And as Don Stanley said, he got inside Ray Tanner's wallet. The rumors of a new contract, the Board of Trustees will meet tomorrow to vote on it.
Yeah, we just confirmed it with Don Stanley.
She sure did.
Her vote probably counts more than all the others collective together.
Great for South Carolina. 2 terrific coaches who represent the university so well.
Who would vote no in that meeting, by the way?
Jasic's going to get called for a travel. This will be the 26th win of the season against just 6 losses. The plus 14 win difference was the greatest single season turnaround.
The Arkansas heads home, and we know this about Eric Musselman. He has already jumped all over that portal, knowing that he's got to rebuild this roster. Not sure who's going to come back or who's going to have the opportunity to come back. And it's an Arkansas team that, 3 straight Sweet 16s coming into this year, a couple of Elite 8 performances. They're not going to get that mark this year. And Eric Musselman told me about a month ago, they will attack the offseason recruiting and portal with more fierceness than they ever have since he's been at Arkansas.
Right, Davis had it, and he decided to try to throw one into the corner where Battle was, and then he vacated. That's the world we live in, Jimmy, the portal world.
Yeah.
Last 40 seconds of this one. South Carolina is going to beat Arkansas and move on to what should be a terrific game tomorrow against Auburn. Bruce Pearl, who bring 10 guys into that game against the South Carolina team. That today featured just a ridiculously effective performance by Colin Murray Boyles on 11 of 15 shooting and 24 points. They shot almost 59% as a team in the second half.
Well, Auburn is a different animal defensively. Auburn comes into this SEC tournament as the 6th best defense overall in the country. So that inside point production that South Carolina had today will not be nearly as easy tomorrow against a rugged Auburn half-court defense. When do you leave for Seoul? You leave tomorrow? You be here with me tomorrow?
I'm with you, man.
Okay, all right.
I ain't leaving you here. I'm with you tomorrow.
Thank you.
By the way, your favorite number 11, Murray Boyles' 11 field goals, sets a school record in an SEC tournament game. I'm going to fall asleep tonight thinking about 11.
He actually played at his senior year in high school. Colin Murray Boyles did, out of the school in Utah, and couldn't wait to get back home. And actually, he told me that I wasn't in love with going away from my home state for my senior year, but I went out there and really changed my body, got serious about the game, and man, as it paid off. He went from a 0-star recruit as a junior in high school to a 4-star guy, and one of the better foundation pieces in all of the SEC right now for Lamont Paris.
Season will end for Eric Musselman. He will finish under 500, as Jimmy said, for the first time. And this sets up a big-time showdown tomorrow between South Carolina, the 5 seed, and Auburn, the 4 seed. Battle no good, and that will end it. 80-66, our final score. Lamont Paris continues a terrific season as the Gamecocks beat the Razorbacks.
Yeah, SEC